Hello, Focus. Today, our country is suffering a crisis of meaning, with despair being the cause of hundreds of thousands of deaths every year. For example, in 2022, deaths of despair were responsible for 200,000 deaths. That's equivalent to a Boeing 747 falling out of the sky every day for the whole year with no survivors. Now, at least some of this can be attributed to what's called the so-called new atheists like Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins, who openly derided religion and said that it not only had no benefits, but was only harmful to Americans. The newer new atheists are now taking a second look at many of the contentions from the Dawkins and the Hitchens and arguing that, in fact, maybe by removing religion and God altogether from so much of our culture, we've also removed that meaning that so much of us hunger for. If you are younger than me, it means that you grow up during the 2 decades where the Hitchens and the Dawkins kind of ruled the narrative when it came to the secular ideas about Scripture and about Christianity. And you may have grown up with the idea that Scripture is just understood and it's concluded that it's a bunch of nonsensical stories put together, fantastical stories written by moronic peasants of the Bronze Age. But I want you to reconsider with me that they may have just been wrong. I want you to think about the fact that maybe there's a reason that your forefathers actually regarded the Scripture with a certain amount of authority and reverence and honor. I want you to think about why it is that millions of people for thousands of years have found meaning in Scripture, and millions more find meaning in Scripture today all across the world in all parts of our culture. And that's what we're going to be talking about on Sunday nights. What makes the Bible so special? Because I believe that it turns out there is substantial evidence for the unique nature of Scripture among all ancient documents. That in fact it isn't just like the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or Caesar's commentaries or Plato's Republic. That there's reason to think of the Scriptures differently. And I want to invite you to join us on Sunday nights in October. That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, one of the reasons I'm making this video, aside from the fact that I just think it would be awesome if you were there, is that we're going to leave time every Sunday night for Q&A during this series. If you have questions about a particular Scripture verse or Scripture in general, I want to invite you to come and bring those to the Q&A. Now, you can certainly come, show up, and ask your question, and we'll answer it there. But I know that some of you are more introverted and you don't want to ask your question in public, and some of you may not be able to make it on Sunday night. So I also want to invite you to submit your questions ahead of time. Just send them to my email address, pastormac_@mac.com, and I will be happy to take those questions and answer them on a Sunday night. And if you're not there, I'll let you know about the podcast. You can listen to the answer in your podcast. Now, I don't promise to know the answer to all questions in Scripture, but I do think that we can at least give you a shot to see that maybe questions you think are unanswerable, maybe there is an answer. Maybe at least there's more sophistication and nuance to the possibilities than you've been led to believe. So anyway, I hope you'll join us for what makes the Bible so special, and maybe I'll see you Sunday night, but either way, get those questions into me or give them to your focus group leader and they'll pass them on to me. You guys have a blessed day.